Do, 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 do. All right, guys, hang on 1 second. And I know we are super, super early here. So give me 1 second. And we will get this started. And let's see. Here we go. Do, 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 do. Hang on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna set this one up and get started here. And I got something cool for you tonight. I think you're going to get a kick out of this. So give me 1 second here. And we will see what you think. There we go. All right. All right. And we'll send that one out too. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Now we are moving here. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? Look, I'm alone. I know what you're thinking. There's no possible way they'd let this guy out alone, but we're here anyway. So, guys, I am trying to push this out in 4K. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but we are going to find out. We're going to kind of cross our fingers here. As you may or may not have noticed, I am really early today, and we'll talk about why I'm doing that here in just a little bit. I've got some maintenance to do on a Creality Ender 3 printer. So while I'm kind of shooting the bull with you guys tonight, though I know it's early, we've got a couple other things to do anyway, so it should be pretty fun. So I'm assuming that everybody is able to see the image okay. And I'm going to reposition the camera in just a minute here, guys, so that we start doing the maintenance on this printer. Hopefully everything will be visible and everybody can see what's going on. So give me a second here. I'm going to kind of align everything up a little bit and see if I can go into full-on talk phase standing up. There we go. Let's move this over here. What's up, guys? I am monitoring the chat channel. And tonight, we're going to be working on this Ender 3. So I'm going to move this back so you guys can kind of get a view of it. And I'll show you a little bit about what we're doing here tonight. So we had a customer. This is actually a running Ender that has been running for a little over 4,300 hours. Guys, that's over 6 months for those keeping track of it. And in 6 months of time, it's literally had no downtime. And I mean, it's been beat and run with all kinds of filament that's corrosive. We've changed out different print heads on a couple different occasions just to kind of try to keep it as updated as we can. But needless to say, it's definitely in need of a little bit of love, and that's what we're going to try to do tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do, by the way, for those wondering, I am soloing it tonight. Paul is a little under the weather. If you guys were with us last week, you probably caught Loopy Paul, and apparently whatever it is they switched him on has made it worse. You got to love the natural world of medicine where the best they can do is make it worse. That's great. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and swap this thing out here, guys. There really is not a lot to this. If you've never done any kind of 3D printer maintenance or ever seen this done, it's pretty simple stuff, but it's absolutely necessary. Now, the problem he was having at the end was that it wasn't feeding the filament properly, and generally that's caused by a couple of things. But what I noticed is he had put an aluminum extruder on here, but there's a piece missing here that would allow you to adjust the tension. So the first thing I'm going to do is swap that thing out with a brand new one, assuming I don't throw it on the floor here. And we're going to break out our trusty iFixit kit. Definitely get one if you don't have one. By the way, they are not sponsors, but you know, should they want to be, that'd probably break our heart. Yeah, I think so. I assume you guys are all keeping up also on some of the new AMD news, guys. We are that close to getting good video cards again, finally. And, well, I say that, given what's going on overseas, who knows what we're going to get in the next month or two. But, by the way, guys, I am monitoring the chat over here, so if you say something, I should be able to see it. And please shout up and say hi when you get in there. Let me know who is present and accounted for in the channel. I know we're very, very early, though. I do know that for sure, so I'm not expecting a huge showing right here at the beginning. All right. Gee, instructions. Think I'll need them? I don't think so. Golly. Got to find a comfortable position to do this in, though. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off this old print head here and the extruder, and we're going to change this out and do a little bit of upgrading. So how's everybody's week going this week? Anything interesting going out there in the world of crazy we seem to be living in these days? There we go. Oh, by the way, for those who caught it last week, I did a restream on Star Sand on Twitch. I'm going to be... I want to show you guys how far I've gotten in that game. I know we haven't done anything since the last podcast on it, but I have progressed the game to the point where I've actually won now. I've beaten whatever content they actually had in it, and I think I did a pretty good job. I'll show you. I think I probably overkilled it for what you're supposed to do in, I guess, what they would consider a pre-release mode. All right, let's see. I gotta love it when you're missing an Allen wrench. That's just the best. Fun, you get all these, you get 10,000 keys inside this thing, and the one that you're missing is inevitably the one that you needed. That's the way this works. All right. So the whole point of doing this, guys, if you've got an Ender 3 3D printer or any 3D printer, these things are bulletproof. They're wonderful. They just work whenever you want them to. They don't give you any troubles. But occasionally, like anything else, you do have to maintain it. And if you don't, your print quality will suffer. You'll get failed prints. There's nothing more fun than coming out to a big old spool of filament on your table where you think your print should be. Oh, man. Let's see what we got going here. Yeah, and this is always one of the first things I replace, guys, whenever we do an upgrade on this, because of all the places that have tension, this is where a majority of your tension is right in this area. So when you're pushing that filament through, it's got to push very hard, especially if you're printing a low temperature, because that the filament melts at about 170 degrees. So if you're printing at that 180, 190, it's got a little bit of force to push back. Oh, there's the wife. And she would have to rat me out. Yes, yes, yes. For those wondering, it is actually my birthday today. I turned 22. 23. 24? Would you buy 30? Yeah, we have a pretty good celebration here at the flea market this weekend. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of quit counting birthdays a long time ago. Yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore. But at least not in my opinion. All right. Yeah, this little kit they sent you. This is actually from Creality. So these little aluminum kits you can get, they're like 12, 13 bucks. But, you know, this particular time I figure what the hell, I'll blow a couple extra dollars to get one made by Creality. So that's what we're doing now. And hopefully we will see an improvement in the quality. Although there was nothing wrong with that last one. It was actually pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Oh, that would be the wrong screw. Let's see if we can get the right size here. All right. And that would be the wrong screw. All right, let's see here. So, hope everybody's having a good week. What's going on? Oh, whatever. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Lloyd. To answer your question, Paul is sick. If you guys were in the stream the other day, he wasn't looking too well, guys. And I know most of you guys actually saw that. He was pretty rough. And I think that they changed his medication on him. And from what I understand, it actually made it worse I didn't think that was possible. As old as he is. I'm young. Quit. You better give that up. You can get in trouble, woman. Oh, man. Yeah, my wife teases me because she thinks I'm old. But, you know, a long time ago, I decided you're only as old as you feel or act. And I have no shortage of people telling me to act my age. Ha! Oh, man. So how's everybody else doing tonight? Anything else going on? Lloyd, I see you over there, man. Hey, I noticed are you still streaming on all that stuff going on, or what's going on with that? Or if you switched from Canada to the Ukraine, that's what pretty much everybody else in the world has done. What's going on, Jose? Welcome to the party, man. I said, you guys will excuse me, I'm running solo. Paul is a little under the weather tonight. So, y'all get to play with me tonight. All right. Assuming they sent me the right size screws, we'll knock this out here pretty quick. Which I'm hoping they actually did. You are? Yeah. Yeah. See? See how that works? Everybody says that. Always got to be one comedian, right, babe? So anybody else got anything going on this week? Is it all pretty much same old stuff? I know I've been like stupid busy trying to get caught up from the last weekend, which was also pretty much stupid busy. All right. Yeah, they changed the design on this, guys. That's kind of interesting. They don't change these up very often, but every now and then they will throw you a loop, which is exactly what they have done. Because that is a standard screw. Gone out to dinner and I could embarrass you? Why do you think we're streaming? Yeah, she's got a bad habit of doing that, guys. We ever go out to dinner on a birthday? Don't do it. Don't do it. She will absolutely embarrass you every single time. All right. That's the one. That's what we're looking for. YouTube account get locked for 7 days. Got 2 days till it unlocks. Been streaming on Twitch covering USA and Canada. You know, is it just me, guys? And I know this is going to sound weird, but did it seem like as soon as all this stuff started going down, COVID disappeared? I mean, I know that's probably being a little bit too ambitious, but it just seems that way to me. I don't know. I see you. I see you. All right. Why is that not cooperating today? Never wants to cooperate today. Fine. We'll do it the other way. Oh, man. So what else has been going on out there? Look there. Oh, Wilbur. Guys, don't click that garbage link. You know, we're always going to get one guy in here that's got to do that. Just to kind of mess everybody up. I'll be reporting you here in just a minute at something hilarious just to be a jerk. Oh, man. All right, now we are ready to do this. Thank you, Mr. Real Truth. My hands were occupied. There we go, and let's get this on here. So I am not actually going to, whenever you're doing this, there's a gear, this little gear right here, and that's what feeds the filament in. This gear is undamaged, so I'm not actually going to change that. We'll save that as a spare. I don't see any reason to waste something anyway. Yeah, the back burner for sure. Well, and I hate to say it, but I had a feeling, as we get a little bit closer to November, that's exactly what we're going to see. Yeah, COVID going to go away. Yeah, no more lockdowns or mask mandates. Yeah. Wonder if there's anything behind that. Don't know. I don't know. But if there is, there is. Yeah, done. No kidding. No kidding. So anyway, I was talking about those video cards, guys. Listen, Paul was right. I did a little bit of research on this new architecture they're coming out with on these cards. Holy cow, have we got some cool stuff coming our way. And I, for one, am so thankful we're finally going to be getting something. Because I don't know about you guys, but this dry spell for video cards is driving me insane. I'm still running on a Vegas 64, and I'm pretty sure I've taxed that thing to the absolute brink of its existence. Ugh. Excuse me, I'm just throwing parts all over the floor here. Yes. I think she probably knows that, Lloyd. Yep. Oh, hey, Lloyd, here's an interesting one for you. Most people don't know. So I am scuba certified. And I took my wife down on a cruise recently. And she got to go on her first... And get this over here so you guys can hear me. She got to go on her first, what they call an uncertified dive. And got hooked immediately, which is kind of what I was hoping for. And in the near future here, she is going to be starting her actual certification classes to get her certification so she can go diving for real. And guys, if you have never been scuba diving, man, if you take no other advice that I ever give you, go scuba diving at least one time. It is the most amazing experience ever, and you will not regret it. Got to find you a new job soon. Payments run out for next month. Oh, what payments? Are you still getting the government check things? Is that the payments to which you refer? All right. Oh, yeah. Well, I think you should get back into computer stuff. It's pretty much what I've done my entire life. Frankly, I can't imagine doing anything else. Now, they say, man, if you find a job that you love doing, you'll never work another day in your life, and they are absolutely correct. They're absolutely correct about that. All right. Of course, if you're me and you don't pay attention, and you put the wrong little black insert in there when it needs to have the little silver insert, that's a pain too. Oh. Workman's comp. Oh, yeah, I understand. By the way, guys, is anybody going to be on the stream here watching the game stream when we're done? I went on early today, guys, because this is going to run a little bit long playing with this 3D printer. I thought you guys might get a kick out of seeing it. So I intentionally stalled this maintenance all day long so you guys could watch it. And I know I got a lot of my people out there that love to 3D print. So I wanted you guys to enjoy a little of this yourself. All right. And they're always changing this stuff up just to try to keep us fresh. So... separated that. That's a little different. What's going on, Daedalus? So, Daedalus, we are flying solo tonight. Old Paul is a little under the weather, so he will not be with us this evening. But he will be back very, very soon. And I know that he got hit pretty hard, guys. I was chatting with him. And, you know, you can always tell when somebody doesn't feel good when their chat feels like it's stressed. And his chat definitely felt like he was pretty stressed out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they keep adding these new pieces and parts in here, and if you don't get it exactly the way they want it, nothing quite fits right. So that's why you guys keep seeing me go back and forth with the same thing over and over. There we go. All right. Or they'll change the main design That's one thing I love when they do. Now, this is the original Creality Ender 3. There is an Ender 3 Pro, which is great also. Anything from Creality, I am hooked on their printers, guys. They are fantastic. Something else I'm noticing, that this rod is totally dry. You should always keep a little bit of lithium grease on these things. Yeah, he's hurting, Data. He said that they changed, I think remember last week when he was kind of loopy? They changed his medication, actually tripled the dose, and he said that he felt like it had actually exacerbated the pain, made it worse. So, man, you got to love doctors, man, when the best they can do is hurt you a little bit more, I'll tell you. All right, that's going to want me to change that. I was hoping to get away with not having to change the Bowden tube, but if we've got to, we have got to. That's going to be a little on the short side, cutting it right there, but let's see what we got. Yeah, that should still give us full travel. Yeah, we'll be all right. A little shorter than I like to go on that. Oh, he was hilarious, dude. Yeah, that was about the funniest I think I've ever seen Paul. I think even he knew he was a little off the rockers there, dude. He was all over the place. And it's funny. As the podcast went on, he got crazier, dude. I was like, there's no way this guy could get any crazier. He got crazier. And by the end of it, I talked to him for a little while off the cast. Dude, he was gone. I mean, like, whoop, Paul's checked out. Oh. But you know what? That's fine. Guy deserves it. It's funny. You talk to Paul, and he brags about that Canadian healthcare system. Guy, let me turn this so you guys can see what I'm doing. Brags about that Canadian healthcare system. And I called him tonight, and I said, well, did you tell your doctor what's going on with your medication? Because that is quite obviously rather important. And he said, and I quote, "I'm waiting for an appointment." And all I could think to myself is, waiting for an appointment? That's not a good thing when you're in a situation like that, especially if your medication isn't working. So, oh, he will. Yeah, I'm sure he will, man. I'll bet he's back before you know it. And we'll be back to doing crazy things again. So guys, what we're doing is we're changing out this extruder for the 3D printer. We're tensioning it up right now. And then we're going to test out and make sure. Now, he had mentioned he thought he might have needed a print head also. The print head itself looks okay. It doesn't look great, but it doesn't look horrible. So we're not going to mess with it if we don't have to. But I am going to clean up his cabling here because it is a little on the rough side. I guess I should say lack of cabling. I also picked up one of the Creality boards in case we needed that. I picked up a hotbed in case we needed that. But he's got the upgraded magnetic bed. So if I can get away with not changing that, that'd be great. Yeah, he he was telling me about his week. And I could tell he's had a rough one. So I hope he gets better too, guys. I'm sure he will. He'll be back. He loves this thing as much as I do. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So how's everybody else doing this week? Anything else going on in your worlds out there? Yeah, by the way, my wife did point out that it is my birthday today, so all y'all can laugh at me, and that'll be just fine as I hit my 32nd birthday. 33rd? Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much quit counting birthdays about 10 years ago. The way I see it, survive to the next one. That's all that counts. Especially these days, man. Who the heck knows? All right. So when you're cabling these things up, guys, really the key is to make sure you're keeping everything clear from this bed when it slides back and forth. That's the biggest problem. And what we changed out was this old aluminum extruder. It had been worn out pretty good. There was no pressure on the wheel at all, and that was causing it to not feed the filament properly. All right, so we're going to take a look at the front of this and see what's going on. Hopefully you guys are getting a good view of that. There we go. By the way, I've done a lot of videos on the Ender 3 printer, and they seem to have been popular. It's been a long time since I've done an updated version, so if any of you guys have got this particular printer and you want to see an updated version of it, just let me know, and we'll see if we can put something together for you. Definitely. And I did beat Star Sand. I beat the game. Yeah, it was awesome. Doctors who live in the city and put on a list for 5 years. 5 years for a doctor. Wow. Holy cow. I mean, come on, guys. 5 years for a doctor? That's just stupid. Give me a break. And like I said, I know, it's like anything else. I know that every country and their medical system has their... Oh! Speaking of which, guys, did all of you guys see the interesting news today that Switzerland has broken its traditional neutral status because of what's going on right now in the Ukraine? So they're not neutral anymore. They're actually going to get involved, which, guys, that just blows my mind. If a country like Switzerland can actually get involved, then I'm thinking everybody should be able to get involved. All right. What I'm doing is auto-homing this printer. What that does is it takes the print head to the top right corner, but as I'm seeing, it looks like it is actually not quite stopping at home. There we go. That was weird. It's not supposed to take 3 tries like that. Now, when you're leveling a 3D printer, now I've had a lot of people ask about this. Hey, what's going on, Beatdown? Just saw you there, bud. There's a couple ways you can do it. Now, the videos that I teach are to use a piece of paper. So you take your printer to auto home and then turn the printer off. That way you can freely move the print head, all right? Take a piece of paper in each corner, and what you want is you want to move the head up to where it just barely touches the paper. And a little motion here, guys, is a lot of motion up here. So you want to be real careful when you do that. And you want it to be just a little bit of touch. I think you guys can probably hear that. So we're going to move it to this corner. We're going to do the same thing. And yeah, this one was pretty far off alignment. All right, move it back to the back corner. Now see how tight that is, guys? That's what you don't want right there. If you do that and you start printing, it's going to dig your print head right into the base. That's not good. There we go. Now, you want to do this 3 times, guys, because every time you make an adjustment on one side, it moves the other side. There we go. And this is there we go. This is the beginner's way to do this. Now, the expert, and I will show you, is even once you've done this and you've got it level, you still want to go back and verify on your first layer that it's level. And what you're looking for, guys, anytime you 3D print, you're laying down a tube of filament, okay? That tube of filament should not be laying in a perfect tube on top of the bed or wiggling, and it shouldn't be digging your print head into the bed and grinding it away. What you're looking for, and this is no joke, is actually called the squish. So you want to be able to get the printer to squish the layer just perfectly so you get a nice flat squished layer. If you get a good fresh layer, and assuming your printer is in good condition, that's all you have to do. You don't have to worry about anything else. The rest of the print will work. Now, I will tell you, I've been printing for 7 or 8 years. No matter how good your first layer is and your printer calibration is, you are going to occasionally get failed prints. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. But overall, it's like any other equipment. If you take care of it, it will take care of you. All right, there we go. All right. Now, the professional. Whenever I'm leveling these things, I can look down at the level of the printer, and you're looking for a little bit of light between the print head and the bed. A little bit. Not a lot, guys, but a little bit. That little bit of light represents the printer. More concentrated on the U.S. and Canada stuff. Diversion from what's going on here. Take attention off State of the Union. Ha! Ha! And State of the Union. I cannot wait to hear how this guy spends higher gas prices, runaway inflation, unemployment, which is artificially pumped like crazy, the value of the dollar plummeting, property values ridiculously high to where you can't even rent a house these days. And, oh, that's right, this little war that's caused because we've got less than manly president. Yeah, I can't wait to see how he spends all this. It ought to be real interesting. And by interesting, I mean a complete disaster. All right, what we're going to do is somewhere around here, I have got a roll of filament. Where did I put it? Hang on a second here. What did I do with that roll of filament? I thought I put it right here. All right, fine. I didn't. So I will improvise. Hang on. What did I do with that? Yeah, don't you hate when you had some? Oh my God, guys. All right, look. I'll show you something. I'm sitting here looking for that roll of filament, right? Check this out. It's sitting right here. Yeah. See? Not all nights are perfect. All right. When you're loading an Ender 3, guys, this is one of the, whenever I talk to people, this is always one of the things that confuses people more than most. First, you have to preheat the bed, or the print head. You don't have to preheat the bed, but you do have to preheat the print head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to preheat the print head to, it's got to be anywhere over 170. I typically preheat it to the temperature of whatever it is I'm about to print, because that'll save you a lot of time having to wait for it to heat up. There we go, 65. All right. Now at this point, guys, we're still in a kind of a test phase with this because I've only changed the extruder, and I'm not sure if that's going to solve the print head problem. It could still get, or could still be cold and not heat up properly, so we're going to find out. And I'm using regular old generic, they call this gloss white filament. A good tip whenever you're loading these things, take the tip of that filament with some cutters and cut a point. All right, it's going to make it a lot easier to feed through this extruder into that tube. And it's currently heating up, so we're going to let that go ahead and go. Once it hits the temperature to hit the print head. Now, you got a hole right here in the side of the extruder. Hopefully you guys are getting that. You want to feed it into that, through the extruder, and into the hose. Now, when you push it in, you want to push it all the way down to the print head. Now, when the print head is hot, you will see some of the filament come out. And I will raise this up so you guys are actually able to see that. All right, at 150 degrees right now, let it get a little warmer, and we'll go ahead and feed this one through. So, generally, this is about the only maintenance you have to perform on this. This goes out, the tube wears out. This Bowden tube that you see right here, this blue one is actually an add-on. It's not the original. So, all right, we're at 175 degrees. So let's start feeding it. We're going to feed it in. Right into the hose like that. Now, guys, I got that the first time. Most people will not get that the first time. I'm just telling you that. All right, so we're feeding it up through, and as you guys can hopefully see, we got filament coming out. Now, I have a test print on this one. When it finishes doing its thing, we are going to reposition that camera, and I'm just going to let this run while we're shooting the bull here. Hopefully, you guys will get to see a little of the action going on there. Stop looking for it. It will show up. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, but the irony is, dude, it was right behind me. I mean, I've done that so many times before, and increasingly lately, I'll tell you. So maybe that birthday thing is wearing on me. Great. All right. So now that we've got the new extruder on, that actually looks pretty good, too. All right, we're going to print from TF, and I did a little dragon called a Lubia Dragon, and all I am curious about is to see, and it should start moving here in just a second, if the layers go down and if everything goes well. All right, here goes. We're moving now, and let's see what this looks like. By the way, are there any 3D printers out there? Anybody out there actually doing this now? And are there any questions you have? I've been doing this for way too long now. All right, here she goes. And now, like I said, Watch that first layer, guys. You can't see it from the camera, but you might be able to see it laying down that layer right there. And that flat line is exactly what you're looking for. You don't want it to grind into the bed, but you don't want it to sit on top of the bed either. There we go. And away it goes. And like I said, watch that first layer. It is looking good and perfect. All right. Now we just let it roll. So I'll let that run while we're talking here. Now, the Ender 3, this particular printer, guys, is by far the best entry-level 3D printer that you can get. They're cheap, and they just work. I mean, if you take care of them, they'll run forever. Oh, Lloyd, these things are cheap, dude. Actually, if you need one, let me know. I'm going to probably be selling a couple of the ones I've got here and putting some new ones in. You don't. No, you don't have to, Beatdown. The cool thing about Ender 3s is if you do prints, look for any of the prints on Yeggi. It's a website, yeggi.com. It's kind of like Google for 3D images. Any print that you look for, you want to look for one that says no supports or supportless. There's no cleanup then. It literally just prints, like this is a supportless print that it's doing right now. When it's done, it'll just be pop it off the base, which also brings me to another point. When you're 3D printing and the print is done, let the bed cool on its own before you try to take your print off. Because if what happens is, as the bed cools, it contracts and the print will just snap right off. It's real easy. If you try to take it off while it's hot, it's like glue and you'll rip your bed up or break your print. Yeah, I'll go see you this weekend. You just want my printers. I know what you want, Lloyd. Oh, for our Pepperball fans out there, guys, got news for you. I just got an email, a shipping confirmation from my distributor in Germany that everything should ship within the next 5 days. That means the flea market, maybe not this weekend, but the following weekend, we should be up and running with all the pepper balls, self-defense, airsoft, all that cool stuff. So you don't want to miss that for sure. For sure. Oh, yeah, we're laying down a solid layer. That's going to be a good print. Insulated, unheated, unpleasant, -38. Why don't you insulate it? That's what I do, at least insulate it. I have at our house, I've got our garage rather kind of converted, and since I don't own that house, I didn't want to pull out the garage door, which is normally what I do, is just convert it to a room. So I double insulated the front of the garage door all the way across, and then I put some of that wall board up, and then in the roof I did that blow-in insulation. It actually holds in pretty well, holds in heat and cool, but I need to at some point install one of those fans that pulls the heat or the cold out of the garage and sucks it in from the house. But I'm not a carpenter, man. I'm a computer guy. Yeah, man. And Lloyd, I have been checking out your Twitch stream, man, and it's actually pretty cool. I'm surprised they haven't pulled you yet, but I mean, I'm glad that it's working out for you, man. I really am. I am. Did you, did anybody out there? Okay, so we were back on this video card thing. I got to tell you about that. So we were talking about some of the new cards coming out. There are, and Paul was talking about how the new AMD series are going to absolutely blow out the competition. And they haven't led the pack in quite a while. They really haven't. They've always come in a close second, or in some categories they would be ahead, but generally they're not. But he's right. 3 of the 5 best video cards that are coming out shortly are going to be AMDs. They're going to be the best ones there are. And they're actually affordable. So, in fact, the other day I was actually checking online and I saw what was it? I think it was a 6700 XT, and it was in the 500 range, which I haven't seen since the middle of COVID. So, now I will tell you what I can't get is raspberries. You guys have seen the game systems I build. I can't even buy them now. And that's jacking me up too. I mean, they go from $40 a board to $150 if you can buy them. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we're getting there. That's a good thing. Yeah. So the did you watch that? Anybody been watching the gameplay videos? I did the Fears to Fathom Home Alone, and I found out what I did wrong. One of the viewers had sent me an email and said that I was supposed to stay under the bed, apparently. I didn't know that. How am I supposed to know that? Yeah. But hey, I did get an interesting. Oh, you know what? That's what I ought to show you guys. While this is running, a shipping container? Ah! While this is running, I got a donation in. Hang on a minute. Let me grab it. You guys will get a kick out of this. I think. Actually, to be honest, I don't know what it is. For all I know, it's a dead cat or something. Hang on. Let me clear this up, and we'll crack that donation and see what it actually was. Get all this junk off my... There we go. All right, be right back. Don't go anywhere. I tell you, Alpha seems to get smaller every day. All right. Okay. So this box, let me reposition our camera here, guys, so we can see this together. This box came in from a guy who had watched one of my videos about doing a conversion on that Commodore VIC-20 you guys have seen up here. That was actually my very first VIC-20, and it meant quite a bit to me. It was very personal. And he said that he had something for me, and he sent an email. Let's see here. And I'm going to read this to you guys. Hopefully the audio doesn't get too messed up, guys, because I got to kind of move over here. All right. So the email said, okay, and all right. It said, Dear John, I loved your video on the conversion of the Commodore VIC-20, but I could see in your eyes you really didn't want to crack open that system. He said, it really touched me when you told me the story of how that was given to you by your father and you'd had it since the 70s. And actually, guys, that is true. That computer that's on the wall, I have had since the 70s. Said that I was very touched into the computer since you had the 70s. I also had one, and I managed to keep it up till now. I hope that you will enjoy what's in this box and use it in the future. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what's in the box. You got to love it when stuff like that happens. Oh, my God, guys. This dude's name is Paul. I'm not even kidding. Paul. I can't give his last name, but his first name is Paul. Oh, small world, man. All right, so let's open this up together. Tell you what, I'm going to move it. Hopefully you guys... Can you guys see the box okay? I know the angle's all jacked up and you can't see my head. All right. Let's see what we get. Golly. I think it's packaged correctly. All right. I have no idea what this is, guys. He didn't tell me anything other than what you just heard. So, oh, all right. I'm going to move this over here, guys. All right. Jeez, oh. Hopefully we don't need any... God, this thing is packaged like steel. Slowly over... It ain't ticking, dude. All right. What is this? Guys, there's packages in... What is that? Oh, dude, that's a Commodore power supply. Okay, hold on. Oh, no way, guys. Look at this. All right. So that's a 1520 tape drive. It's exactly the same one that I've got up here. Excuse me, let me get down here. It's exactly the same one I've got up on the stage up there that I used on that old Commodore. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wait a minute. this doesn't use that power supply. This draws power off of it. What else is in this box? Hold on a minute, guys. Empty bag. Oh, you are kidding. No freaking way. Oh my God, guys. It's a... Oh, hang on, guys. Give me a second. Hang on. That, you know, when I did that conversion, I really did say that I didn't want to tear that computer down, but I really wanted to do that because, you know, it's very rarely, in anybody that's ever done a YouTube channel can tell you this, it's very rarely when you can say that you're the first to do something on YouTube, ever. And I can tell you guys that I was the first, bar none, ever, to convert a Commodore VIC-20 with that Raspberry solution. Everybody else does the 64s. Nobody done the VIC-20. And, oh my God. Guys, this is crazy. Dude, the condition on this thing is stupid. Oh, man. Guys, check that out. That is gorgeous. Oh, man, there's no damage to it. God, the inside looks brand new. I don't know if you guys get a look at that. Hopefully, I don't think that's going to focus, but oh my God, that's gorgeous. Dude, that... You know, I never really got into this thinking that you get attached to people and things, but you know, you guys are the best. And David, I don't know if you'll ever see this. I'm going to respond to your email, though, and if you watch this, you'll never know what this means to me, dude. I didn't want to break that down. I really didn't. And I think it means that this was his. And if that's the case, that's about the ultimate show right there. What else is in here? Is there anything else? Shut up, Data. Oh. That's it. Oh, man. That is too much. Well... And David, if you ever watch this, I can tell you, I will be playing with this computer. Oh, man. Love the feel of a Commodore. If none of you guys have ever programmed on a Commodore, the feel of their keyboard is one of the best that you would ever feel. It is so, so smooth. In fact, that Raspberry conversion I did used an adapter in it that allowed you to plug it in via USB into a computer. So not only was it a Raspberry, but if you plugged it USB into a computer, you could actually use the Commodore as a keyboard. It was called a Keyrah, Keyrah. One company in Europe makes them. And I've actually done it. It's really, really cool. Of course, you know, with the Commodore, you're missing a lot of the conventional keys, but they still work. You just got to figure out where they are. Oh, Paul. Shoot, I'm so sorry. You're right. Paul, not David. Paul, thank you, Lloyd, for catching that. Paul, that was... I'm sorry, dude, I'm all flustered. I don't even know his name now. That was the coolest thing I have ever seen. I cannot believe somebody actually did that. Dude, that may be my... You know what? Okay, here's the kicker, guys. It's my birthday. What a birthday present, man. Oh, guys, this is crazy. All right, that's been used. Look at that. Guys, I'm inclined to think this was his personal unit. Oh, by the way, for the smarty pants out there, this is how we used to load software before you had CDs or discs. Click. That's right. Oh. You would literally to give you kind of a lesson, you know, on a disk you could store a multiple programs, right? Well, you could do the same thing on a tape, but to do it, you would press play and record, and it would record when you were saving your data if you had a program. You would remember where your counter was, and you would write it on the cassette tape. That way, when you went back to load another program, you'd go to that counterpoint and start recording there. Then when you'd want to load it, you'd go back to that counterpoint, hit play, and then load. Dude, this is so cool. You have no idea. This was my first computer ever, was a VIC-20. Wow. I cannot wait to get into this thing, guys. This is going to be so much fun. And you never find them with functioning power supplies. They call these things the Commodore killer. They do, because they were not super dependable and they would fail. I will probably not plug this in there. I've actually got a new version that I built a long time ago that I'll actually use on this one, because I'm not letting anything risk damaging that. But Paul, that's going up on my board, man. That is going to be the permanent fixture. So the Commodore with the Raspberry conversion is coming down, and this one is going up. That is so exciting. Let me show you guys that. So I'm going to put this up here real quick. Hang on one second. And I want to show you what the other one looks like after the conversion. One sec. And actually, guys, in looking at this, the revision he sent me is actually the older version than this one. This is a high one. 14, let's see here, 1.4 million serial number, and that's in the 30,000s. So that's a lot lower serial number. But if you look at this VIC-20, what I did is, and you can see the back plate, I 3D printed a plate to cover this entire back section. It covers here, it covers these two ports, and I installed an HDMI port, I installed a USB port over here, and the power port here. And then this is actually an SD card reader, so I could actually swap out the image without having to open up the system again to get to the Raspberry. There may be an upcoming video shortly on that, as a matter of fact, because I'm going to swap this from a Raspberry B3 over to a 4. There's a company out there called My Retro Computer who had sent me an email. Apparently they designed a Commodore case that will use a micro ATX motherboard, a conventional board. So that would be awesome. I think I want to get one of those, and I'd love to do it on the channel. And I harassed them. I said, you know, you guys always send this new stuff to the big YouTubers and never to the little guys who will really appreciate it. And I think I guilted him into it. He's like, yeah, I can actually see that. We'll definitely get one going your direction. So that was kind of cool. But all right, so yeah, that's printing good now. We're good. All right. So yeah, that was very unexpected, guys. Holy cow. And he's right. That really, when I built that system, it got me. It did, because I really didn't want to get rid of that, but by the same token, I needed to make that video. People had asked me for it, and if I was going to be the first one on YouTube to do it, I had to be the first one on YouTube to do it. You know how it is. You don't get to do it. You don't get to be the first twice. You only get to be the first once. So if you haven't seen that video, guys, if you search back through, I think actually when I did that conversion, I was in the other part of the building. It was my really old studio, and it's a two-parter. The first part was actually a donation unboxing, and then the second part was the conversion on it. And I think I tell the story of how I got it in that video too. So if you guys are interested, you're welcome to check that one out. But Paul, dude, that may be the nicest thing anybody has ever sent to me. I cannot believe that. It blows my mind. That is so cool. I can't wait to play with it now. But yeah, so this one I will be probably, I'd say in the next couple of weeks. I have another pepper ball video to make for you guys. But then we'll go through this. I'll crack this open for you, show you how I built it on the inside, because it's a super clean build. You guys know me. And then we'll convert it to a 4 and put a new image in there, and I'll show you what it does. You know, the reason I did it is because I love the old Commodore games, but I figured, why have 1 or 2 when you can have all of them in one system and be done with it? So, yeah. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to be fine on that. Is printing like a champion. Yes, indeed. And all is well. Good. I like that. But, yeah, have any of you guys ever gotten something that kind of knocked you back for a loop there? Because now I don't even know what to say. I'm sort of shaken up by the whole thing, if we're being honest. But, all right, so has anybody been really following what's going on in the Ukraine other than just putting the videos up? Because if you have, I have a question for you. And I can't seem to get a straight answer on this. Anybody out there actually following it? Because I know I've heard stories on all sides, and one of them, you know, the obvious here is that there's no excuse for killing anybody. I mean, it's a load of crap if you're going over there and killing civilians, for sure. I heard somebody mention, and you guys can tell me if this is true or not. Somebody mentioned to me that there was apparently a dispute, or what started this was that Ukraine wanted to join NATO. And if they had joined NATO, they would have had nuclear weapons on the border of Russia. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I know they wanted to join NATO, but I don't know about the rest of it. And that was the reason, supposedly, that Putin wanted to invade, because he had given them a lot of warnings and said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, and they're still going to. Now, once again, you cannot defend the indefensible. And some of the stuff that's going over there, I've seen some of those videos of tanks running people over in their car and, firebombing schools. It's just ridiculous. But, you know how it is. There's always a truth that you're presented, and that there's a truth that they want you to see, but then there's another truth that's right in the middle, and that truth is usually, you're right. That truth is usually what's really true. And it's hard to get that. You're certainly not going to get it from the mainstream media. And at this point, I'm pretty much convinced you're not going to get it from independent reporters over there, because they seem to be biased to one side. So I'm wondering what the real truth is. I mean, I do find it hilarious when was it the ambassador or something like that of Russia was calling Zelensky a Nazi or a neo-Nazi, and the guy's Jewish. That doesn't quite pan. But I don't know. I know that I would like to know the truth, but we're never actually going to know it, at least until all this dust settles. What I do know is that with all the sanctions that the world are putting on Russia, it is going to do one of two things. It's either going to cripple the country to where the people will depose Putin, or it's going to steal them in their resolve, and this could get a lot worse really fast. And I hope that's not the case. I think all of you guys hope that's not the case. I mean, just from a purely selfish interest, this is going to do nothing but raise prices on everything. It's going to cause inflation to go worse, because we're going to have to blow more money we don't have. But said working for the NWO to overthrow. Well, and I'm sure there's a lot of that going on. When you've got 20 countries against you or whatever, yeah, I'm sure there's a whole lot of that going on. But, and yeah, the NW, well, okay, that's a whole nother area we could delve off into, the New World Order. But, without getting into it, because we don't want to be floating conspiracy theories. And once again, guys, my views don't represent Paul's, and Paul's don't represent mine in this. This is just the way I'm feeling about the situation. But when I watch it, it kind of freaks me out. It does. And I know that I'd really like to be a fly on a couple of walls and see what happens. And I also, as much as I hate to say it, I want to see what that guy says this weekend during our State of the Union address. Yeah. Let's see if Nancy Pelosi rips up his form like she did with Trump. What do you think? Probably not. But yeah, so I had an interesting experience. You guys may or may not have noticed. Last week with Paul on, I was able to not talk quite as much as normal, but I had some pretty major dental surgery. You guys can probably notice I've got a partial up here, and I keep thinking I'm going to shoot it across the camera at you guys. So I'm doing my best not to do that. Hopefully they'll have it resized and reseated correctly next week, but we shall see. There's a lot of you guys out there that probably get a real kick out of seeing it too. Yeah. But older, see, not the old guy in the group. I think Daedalus, I'm going back on some of these messages here. I think I may be the oldest guy in the room now. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. But you know what? People say act my age. I'm going to act my age, and my age feels young, so I'm going to stay with it. Yeah. Definitely. You're not a conspiracy theorist, Lloyd. You don't want to get labeled that. You want to get labeled as conspiracy truthist. Don't put it out there if you can't prove it. Definitely don't put it out there if you can't prove it. That's kind of the way I've always felt about that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I got something to show you guys. See, look at this. All these cool things I could have showed you. Hold on a minute. We're talking about 3D printing. Hang on. I had a custom order for a customer, and I thought you guys might actually get a kick out of it. Check this thing out, dude. Printer quit wiggling on me. Check it out. A chainsaw. The dude actually sells Stihl chainsaws, apparently. And he wanted one to put on his desk. He's going to paint it up and all that. I haven't even cleaned this thing up yet. Probably ought to do that. Let's see here. But yeah, when I saw the chainsaw, I thought that was a pretty cute idea. There we go. Yeah, print's coming along pretty good. See how we're looking there. Yeah, looking pretty sharp. All right. Yeah, I try to keep the... I'll be 30 in September? 30 in September? Yeah, you're a whippersnapper, dude. Oh. Paint it orange and white. The chainsaw? Yeah, could probably do that. I'm going to let him do that. He wanted me to make it for him. He can paint the thing. I did a lot of custom prints this weekend, guys. You know what's weird? Of all the custom prints I get, mostly anime. Anime is the biggest thing. Everybody wants anime prints. That is a hobby I just never quite figured out, never got into. Now, I do like going to the Comic-Cons. You guys ever been to a Comic-Con? I really do enjoy that. Yeah, but I mean, you can get some crazy detail in this, guys. Look at that. Look at the little handles on the side. And little knobs. I mean, you can get some crazy good detail. And this is a relatively new filament that I use, too. They sent it in to me to test. So I guess this is their review. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Haven't had too many problems with it. 52 in June, so I am older than you. Yep. Great. Now I'm the old man in the room. Lloyd, we used to joke about people like that. And yet here we are. Now I'm doing it. Go figure. Anybody got any suggestions for the next game they want to see? So tonight we're going to go, what we're going to do is we're going to go through Star Sand. I want you guys to see what I have done and what, do you remember, does everybody on here remember when I started Star Sand? I told you that before the game was over, I would have a 3-story condominium built. Remember that? You said I told you I'm the best at survival games and that I would live in comfort. Well, just keep that in mind when you see what we got going on there. Man, look at that. Even the supports just pop right off. That is great, man. Yeah, this is going to look, he'll love this. He'll love this for sure. And our dragon, I want to put him on high speed. Here we go. He's almost done, actually. God, that was the quickest print ever, dude. That was like 28 minutes. You really want me to play Stranded Deep? I say that because Matt Vlad got on there and he said that nobody was even watching that game anymore. And he's like bazillion viewers more than I have. Ship from Elite printed. If you can bring me the STL files, Lloyd, I'll print those and we'll do them in resin because then you can get a lot higher detail out of them. I did a Millennium Falcon that's transparent. Literally, you can pick it up and see right through it. It's really cool. There we go. You know what's funny about this print, guys? So whenever you do a 3D print, you can't print on air. So if you've got an object that has an arm out, you have to print a support that comes from the ground all the way up to the arm to print on. But I forgot to do supports on this chainsaw. And it wasn't the Ender 3 I was using. It was actually an FL Sun Delta. But it did what's called spanning. And if you can see, that is a straight line across. It managed to span it together and build up around that spanning. It was really, really cool. What's Outlast? What kind of game is it? Because I'm not a big first-person shooter guy. I like the strategy, and I love MMOs. That's kind of where I'm at. And strangely enough, I love MMOs, but I solo it. I love soloing them, yeah. Anybody here ever play EverQuest back in the day? Other than you, Lloyd? Oh, well, if they're on Yegi, bring them in. If you bring them in, Lloyd, we'll print them up for you. And then you can put them on your real news channel. So I've been thinking about, I want to get you guys' opinion on this too. Similar to Star Sand, but with ocean. Outlast is? Oh, Stranded Deep. Dude, I'm sorry. Yes, I know Stranded Deep, and I have it. I played it like 10 minutes. I thought you were thinking of, what's that game where you are in an airplane? No, wait a minute, that is it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's Stranded Deep. You crash on an airplane, right? And you have to like build up your island and go to different islands to get stuff and all that. Yeah, that's the one he was playing. He said nobody even watches it anymore. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you were talking about. Yep. All right. Miss Sword Dragon is done. Dude, that was fast. So on an Ender 3, you can crank up the speed while it's printing. You can actually go down and tell it to change the speed. And I went to 140 millimeters per second. This thing is supposed to print at, I think maximum is 70. And the print looked really good. What, Stranded Deep? Isn't that the one where you got to fight like the 3 bosses, like the squid and the shark and something else? Outlast is a scary game. What's the goal? What's the premise, Data? Is it something I'm actually going to like? Or a beatdown? Is it something I'm going to like? Because we still need to feed the pig again. And that I need to get back to. I really did like Star Sand, but until they update it, I think we've probably done as much as we can possibly do, which you will see here shortly. I've mapped the entire map. I found everything. I'll let you guys see the, when you click on the, what do they call them? The relics. It shows you the storyline. I'll let you see the whole storyline all the way to the end. I've gone all the way down into the pyramid. We'll go in there and I'll show you that too. And then I'll show you the base that I'm currently constructing. My goal, you're going to laugh. My goal is actually to build a pyramid. I'm going to build a pyramid. It's going to be big, but the resources you need are scarce. So I've been farming all over the place, but there's things I've been doing on that too. I'll tell you when we get on the game, so you'll see. It's pretty cool. And then as far as Outlast, what is Outlast? Is it like a horror survival, or is it a multiplayer, or what is it? Because I love strategy games too. That's another one I really like. But somehow I don't think you guys would get a kick out of watching a strategy game. You might. I don't know. Yeah, but is it multiplayer survival or single player survival? Okay, Lloyd, let me look at that. Let's see. Good, suck, okay, suck, suck, might be okay, possibly a lot of bugs, it's okay, great, elite is great. Farming sim, what the hell is farming sim? Okay, all right, I will, but it's called Outlast. Is it a new game? Or is it an older game? Because what I can do is take a look at it and see what it looks like. Outlast. There we go. Outlast. All right. Outlast. There's an Outlast 2 apparently too. Zombies. Dude, that's old. That game's like 9 years old. You'd actually watch it if I played a 9-year-old game? Gold Rush should be boring to watch, but since 4 a.m. 4gen gold miner. What is... Okay. Is the premise you actually go and mine gold? Like, go mine gold? Because I can see how that could get a little boring after a while. A little tedious. Oh, man. I cannot wait to try this out. I actually went and bought a box of cassette tapes that work with that one up there because I use it with the Commodore 64 occasionally. So I might even write some programs. Show you guys some of the really cool old basic programs. Back in the day, dude, you couldn't store that crap. Before my first VIC-20, I didn't have a tape drive. It was just the VIC-20. So you bang out programs, but as soon as you shut down the computer, they were gone. It was over. Yeah. Well, it says there's an Outlast 2, although that does look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Is it single player? Yeah, it's single player. Okay. All right. I'll look into Outlast. Maybe we'll throw down on that next week or something. And I have another horror game to play too called Airy that somebody had suggested. I don't know anything about it, but that may be something we do also. But tonight, we're doing Star Sand. I'm going to give you guys a tour around what I've already built and what I'm planning on building. So, and if you're going to play Star Sand ever, there is a massive frickin' spoilers on this one. So you don't want to watch it if you're going to play Star Sand. So do not play it. It's just based off the show Gold Rush. Oh, okay. Gold Rush, huh? So what, you just go and look for gold? For real? Dude. Between that and Farming Simulator, it seems like they're really stretching for games. That may just be me. I may be wrong, but, it seems like it. All right. Well, no, hey, listen, Beatdown, I'm going to. I'm actually watching the, it cycles the stuff on Steam, and it looks really, really good. In fact, you can get the entire, there's 3 of them. And you can get the whole thing for $40 right now. So I might actually buy all 3 of them so we have something to play. Definitely. And hey, listen, don't tell me about old games, dude. I still jump on EverQuest now and then. So if I can jump on a, 25-year-old game and still enjoy it, cool. Panning to full-blown gold mining. You know how I gold mine, Lloyd? I go down to my coin guy and say, hey, got any gold? Trade that funny money in for real money. Yeah. Speaking of which, I got an update from Coinbase the other day that was kind of interesting. For those who don't know, Coinbase is a wallet for Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies. And they were talking about how the IRS was going to start forcing them to report your Bitcoin earnings and the valuations when they go up and down as income. So start carrying a wallet, an actual digital wallet. That's all I can tell you at this point. Working on installing a new dishwasher. Awesome, Jeff. Maybe I need to make a tutorial video on a dishwasher. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a very good birthday, man. My wife is taking me to a concert in August. Get this, guys. All right, all you old schoolers. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett, dude. This concert is going to friggin' rock. I cannot wait. She got that for me, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I didn't even know they were coming. And that is going to be crazy good. I'll get some video of it. Maybe I can get it up on the channel or something. I don't know. We'll see. The dishwasher is your wife. That, Lloyd, is why you're not married. Oh, we can all think it, but you never say it. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a very pleasant surprise. I haven't been to a concert, well, obviously since pre-COVID, but God, even Madonna, and that concert sucked. Yeah, she comes out on the stage 2.5 hours late, no BS, drunk off her butt. And of course, Madonna's like 60, and she's all dressed up like she's a hooker. So a 60-year-old hooker grinding on people on the stage. And to top it off, she didn't even sing any full songs. It was like a constant mashup, the entire concert. So, yeah, skip Madonna if she ever goes back on concert. I'm afraid her day has passed. But must have a decent long delayed live stream from my phone. Yeah, probably so. I'm seeing a pretty long delay too. It's probably, I'd say, about 3 minutes between the time I'm seeing you guys respond and the time I'm responding, and that's kind of weird. Although I am broadcasting in 4K, so I wanted to see if in 1080. I wanted to see if I could get away with it. So hopefully on the replay, this will look really good. It's looking good over here, so we'll see. I don't know if this computer's going to do it or not, so we'll find out. But what, your dishwasher die on you or what? Ours went out and a hose broke in the back. We found out it was out after it had been running all night long. Yeah, all over the floor. So basically, our living room was a swimming pool. Which sucked. Dishwasher's your wife. Lloyd, man, you're going to stay single like that one, buddy. I don't know what to say. Oh, another one. Data, you or Beatdown probably know. My daughter really, really, really wants me to play Five Nights at Freddy's, the Security Breach. And apparently they just dropped like a 3 gig patch or something like that, which fixed a lot of their problems. That game looks pretty good, guys, and I know nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's. She plays it all the time, but I'd be going in completely blind. Then again, we also went in completely blind with Burger Farm, and it was really good. I really enjoyed Burger Farm. Although we were also sending that one out in 720. How come none of you guys told me? I never even looked. I feel horrible. Oh, our print is done. Let me see if I can get this off the bed. Hang on. So the good thing about these flexible beds, there we go. So when the print comes off, and you can actually bend the bed like this, and the print falls right off. But the key is to let it cool down. Shut that down. Check it out, guys. That's pretty cool, huh? That is a Lumia Dragon printed at 5% infill. So it's pretty flexible, but turned out really nice. Here's what happens when you print really fast, guys. Look at the back. See the burn marks? You tell me that print head wasn't getting hot. But yeah, that turned out pretty nice. I actually did a full-size version of that on one of my Delta printers out there. And it was big, but I time-lapsed it, did a whole video out of it. Turned out really good. Anybody want a dragon? I could give away a dragon on my next giveaway. What do you think? Anybody want a dragon? Oh, man. You know, and I haven't either beat down. I have watched, well, not really watched. I've heard my daughter playing it. And, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy. I've heard my daughter play it, and she screams like real legit terror. So I don't know. It might be worth playing. Of course, you guys know me. I don't get scared of anything, so it doesn't matter what they throw at me. I'm just going to take it like a man. I don't get scared. I'm a man. And the woman is the dishwasher, Lloyd. Lloyd said it, not me. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys will notice Paul's not even in here right now. For those wondering that had come in late, they changed Paul's pain medication, and they put him on a triple dose of this crap. And whatever it was that the Canadian amazing medical system put him on actually enhanced the pain. It actually made it, he couldn't even sit down. In fact, when I was talking to him, I could tell he was in pain. And he now has to wait because of the terrific Canadian medical system to go to a doctor. A poor guy's going to have to suffer through this. I told him, you got to go back on your other medication. At least it did something. But yeah, that's bad. I feel really bad for him. But he will be returning next week, so don't worry about that. And we will still have our game stream after this, so don't worry about that. And I think he's got another video canned for this week, so don't worry about that. And this week, I got a cool video, guys, coming. I'm going to start working on it tomorrow. Do you guys remember we did the Pepperball video on the revolver, the HDR50? I'm going to mod it. And I'm going to mod it to full power. And when it gets modded, it goes from 11 joules up to about 35, which means it's going to fire in the 400s. Way too strong for pepper balls. But if you're firing solids, this thing is going to be devastating. So, and I printed a brand new skull for it too. So we're going to do all that. I want to fire it right off the bat to get a baseline. I want to do the mod so you guys can see the mod, how I'm doing it. And then I want to fire it afterwards to see what it looks like. So that video might be a little long, but it's going to be really, really cool. And if it does work the way I think it is, I will probably have that offered here at the flea market as an option if they buy the revolver. So they can have the standard version or the modded version. Mod's like 30, 40 bucks, but it turns it into a totally different, it turns it into an actual real weapon. So you got to be kind of careful with it. In fact, I think it makes it illegal in some countries to have it with that much velocity. I know in Canada it is. So yeah. Yep. Everybody, please keep Paul in your prayers or your thoughts or your memories or your whatever it is you believe in. Keep thinking about Paul because we want him to get better. And I know that the poor guy is miserable right now. I do. And I know would have made him feel better if he would have got a VIC-20 from one of his cool viewers. Yeah, it's still so cool, dude. I still can't believe that. I can't wait to crack into that thing. And this video is coming up. Who knows? Maybe I'll do this one first, where we remod the modded VIC-20. So that's what we're going to do. This thing's actually a lot of fun, guys. When I put the HDMI port in there and all that, it runs here on the weekends, and it's a lot of fun. One thing that was kind of neat, I was able to program the Raspberry so that the power light, which, by the way, is always red on a Commodore, I put a green LED in it, and it pulses. So it fades in and out as it's powered up. So it's actually kind of cool. It's really cool. But this was my original VIC-20 from the 70s. And yeah, this serial number is 1,422,000. And that one he gave me is serial number 66,078. So that is a very, very, very early VIC-20. That's cool as hell, man. Who would have ever thought? But, all right. So, anybody want the dragon? Anybody out there do any 3D printing? Because I know Lloyd's about to bring me a whole crap ton of stuff he wants me to print for him, and then I'll have to see Lloyd come in here and bring all of his stuff in. Hey, make this for me, man. By the way, when you're printing, guys, that's called a brim. It's one of the ways it binds it to the surface. You just pop that right off there. Kind of like a support. You can print with also what's called a raft, where it literally prints a base under it, a whole base, and then prints the print on the base. That does typically give you a nice smooth bottom, but if you look at that, you can see that is smooth as glass on the bottom. So that we don't need that. And the other one is called a skirt. So it puts a bead of filament around the outside of the print. That's what you would watch to see if you're getting a proper squish on the filament. So, but yeah, this turned out really good. No complaints at all. Cute little dragon. And you know, the filament is nearly as important as the printer itself. Having it in good calibration is one thing, but having a good filament, you can have the best calibrated printer in the world, and the filament sucks, and it won't stick to the bed, or if it's even slightly moist, you'll get bubbles all through it. You know, the filament does make a difference. So don't skimp $2 or $3 on buying a roll of filament if you're going to do that and get into the 3D printing world for sure. But dishwasher, yes, he does. And actually, Paul, you use an Ender 3, as I recall. So you know how good these things are. Yeah, definitely. But well, guys, I've been streaming here almost an hour and a half. I know I started a little bit early. I am going to jump over here in just a second. We're going to start the game. We're going to revisit Star Sand, and I'm going to show you I whipped this game's butt. And I want to show you a couple things that might be, are 100% spoilers. So if you're ever going to play it, just know you're about to see some. 3D print a gun, been looking for bolts and nuts. If you 3D print one out ABS or carbon fiber, remember, you've got to seal the printer completely. You can't let heat out. And also, it's going to be good for 1 to 3 shots, and then the lower will loosen. So be real careful with that, man. Seriously, don't blow your hand off just trying to play around. It ain't worth it. But B3. Oh, Daedalus, thank you. I did get your email, brother. I am so sorry about that. The B3 Plus with everything that will run on it, plus a soft start. Okay, I have got an image right here. And what I'll do is I will send me another email, man. And this image is currently got almost 30,000 games on it. But I started importing DOS and Windows games too, like Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. All those games, they're all on there too. Send me your information. I'll give it to you for the cost of the card. So, and then whatever it costs to mail it up there. But because I usually keep, well, here, look. This is my stash of different images as I build them. So you guys can see, I build a lot of different images for this thing, and I test them all the time. This corner right here is the important one. That's the images that are ready to go. So, yeah, send me an email, and then I'll see if I can get one out there to you. For sure. And you'll love it. Actually, Paul has an image that I built prior to this one with 22,000-ish games on it. This is going to be the last image I build on this one for a while because I can't get a freaking Raspberry, and I sold my beta unit. So at this point, I don't have anything to develop on, but that's all right. You know. But all right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for now. About 10 minutes. I'm going to reset everything in here, and we're going to play some Star Sand. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to this game. I trashed it, and I'll show you. So we'll see you guys in a little bit, and I can't remember what that line was that Paul always seems to want to use. Oh, wait.